Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. I know that there are still some people trickling in, so if you happen to be trickling in as we get going on this, please feel free to reach out and we can kind of hit the beginning half of this as well. So welcome. I'm glad everybody could attend today. We are going over Journey's new Hub HR features. And this is going to be really pretty high level as far as just introducing the product, but we can do specific trainings one-on-one to actually go through some demos and maybe create some specific workflows for your business. So please feel free to reach out for an actual demo and training. And then we can sit down, like I said, one-on-one and kind of hit everybody's needs at that point. So welcome. I'm glad everybody could attend. We are going to go through here. Let me get on my right screen. All right. So the features of Hub that we're going to address today are things like the Hub dashboard, the HR dashboard, workflows and tasks, custom fields, reporting, and alerts. So as most of you know, since you have been living in Hub, hopefully, your new hires tab at the very top has gone away. It is now Hub HR or just HR, the HR tab. When you click on the HR tab, it will open up and expand to where you can see your new hires. So if you have been concerned about that, your new hires has not gone away. However, you will not see all of the other features of that until we turn on your Hub HR. So that is something that you'll need to reach out to us for pricing and actually turning that on. But your new hires tab that some people were kind of concerned about is still there. You just click on HR and your new hires will show up. The screenshots that we're going to go over today, and I apologize if they're a little grainy, I will be sending out actual notes for this as well once the webinar has finished. But anything that you guys would want to see, like I said, we can get you a better screenshot and a demo as well. So these are just the things that we'll be going over today in the webinar. First one is your dashboard. So like I said, when you click on your HR tab at the very top, it opens up into your dashboard view. The logo, I do like to make mention of this. The logo will actually populate to your logo. So this is your company specific. We are using the demo company right now, which is why you see our logo, but this would be specific to your company. Your dashboard has several different tiles in it. The first is the to-do list. So this is going to be anything that you need to complete on your side as the admin. Your task to review is going to be anything that your employees have submitted for you to review before it gets completed. This is things like an employee going in, clicking on their initials, updating their direct deposit, their address, W-4 information, anything that they have there. If you have it set to have a manager's approval before that goes through to payroll, then those are going to be under your task to review. If you have things in your task to review and you wish not to review them first, you would just like them to automatically get updated, then reach out to me and let me know. We can turn that feature off for you guys. Upcoming events. So this is going to be things like for the demo company, for example, paydays, our next scheduled paydays on the demo company. This will also include events such as birthdays. So if that's something that you guys create a workflow for, and that's something that your employees have elected to put in the dashboard or in their company directory, then the birth dates will show up in the upcoming events as well. My filing cabinet is any documents that you want to upload into the Hub account for your employees. So this can be employee specific. This does not have to be just for the entire company, much like company docs and links. This can be for anything that's been uploaded into your personal filing cabinet, as well as anything you want to upload into your employees. Company news. So this is messages. If you all remember the messages from the home screen, this is your messages that you guys put out there. So clicking on admin, and I believe it's communication center under your admin tab. This is where you go to put company news. And then company docs and links. For those of you familiar with with putting docs and links into your Hub account for your employees. This can be things like their handbook, job policies, job descriptions, anything of that nature. Next, we're going to get into adding a workflow. So what we're going to walk through here is the process to add a workflow, the steps that you'll go through, and then you'll also see the completion of a workflow, as well as, like we mentioned, alerts, tasks, reporting, all that fun stuff. So to add a workflow and what a workflow is, so we'll kind of back up to a workflow. Workflows are things such as driver's license renewals, if you've got people driving for your company, benefit enrollment notices, performance reviews, and education, things of that nature. So driver's license is a big one for some of our companies. We've got companies that have drivers that drive truck, that drive vehicles that belong to the company. And it's important that you make sure that with those drivers, their driver's license renewals are always on time, but that their actual driver's license is up to date. So the worst thing that could happen is somebody's driver's license expires, they don't have time, or they don't look at it, so they don't pay attention to it. And I bring these things up because this has obviously happened here to some of our clients. So how do you prevent that? How do you make sure that you are on top of that all the time? And this workflow comes in at the perfect time for this. Benefit enrollment is huge as well. So we've got clients that have, maybe after 60 days of employment, so 60 days after their hire date, they're eligible for benefits. And how do we make sure that that doesn't slip? How do we make sure that those employees get that information in hand, or they get an alert about it, so that they can go through that process and we can get those benefit enrollments in on time? Performance reviews, this is awesome for clients that want to start a performance review and then work with the employee to complete that review. So there might be things like, hey, we want to have you fill out something ahead of time, answer a questionnaire, things of that nature, before actually sitting down and going over the review. And then education. So we've got a lot of clients that have certification that comes along with their education, or their job title. Specifically for us, we have our employees here go through some trainings and some certifications. And so it's nice to have those in the system so that I know when those come up for review or renewal. Excuse me, my words are leaving me today. And then adding documents. So you can add documents to the workflow. This allows you to do almost any paper process you guys are currently doing electronically. Similar to paperless onboarding. So if everybody is familiar with paperless onboarding, this allows you to onboard a new employee. You put all their documents in there, you get a signature. Same thing for this. The process allows you to do things both for the employee and the administrator to get those completed. So it's kind of a nice process to have all of this in one. And if you are familiar with onboarding, this process will probably look very similar to that. So it's all in Hub, which keeps it nice for your familiarity. And then custom questions. So custom questions can be tailored to your workflow. This is really important for things that don't necessarily just come up as pre-built questions. Much like the onboarding process, you guys can create custom questions and documents. You can do the same exact thing for your workflows. All right, selecting custom fields to match your workflows. So in the example that we're using here, we did driver's license. So driver's licenses, we obviously want the custom fields, and these were already pre-built. So a driver's license option is already pre-built in the system, meaning I can select custom fields that have already been created. I can select the state, I can select the license number, and the expiration date. So these are all options that, as you can see on the example, we've gone ahead and selected because that coincides with the driver's license that we're trying to upload as a workflow. So again, you can create questions, you can choose from pre-built depending on what kind of workflow you've added or that you're building. And then next, you're going to select your audience and your settings. So selecting your audience is huge. This can be for all employees. This can be for employees of a selected department. So if you, let's say you have 10 departments in your company and you're really, targeting just your drivers, this is where you can come in and select just that group of employees that fall under the driving department, for example. And that way you're not blasting this out to all employees that it doesn't pertain to them. So it's important to make sure that when you select your audience, you look at your options. It is an option to have all of your employees as well. And it's also an option to select from just a specific employee. So if there is something that you want that just pertains to one employee, you don't want to have it go through all the departments or all the employees in this specific department, you can select just one employee. If you select one employee, it will obviously open up so that you can choose just that one employee. Okay. And then under your settings, you can choose whether you want there to be a review process. So do you want this to be something that is reviewable by the department manager? So if you're choosing a specific department to work under, you can choose a reviewer as well, which then again opens up a whole nother option for them to review it and not every admin that you have listed under your hub. And that review process, so we'll kind of hit on that a little bit more. Like I said, you can create the review process for one specific reviewer. You can also create all administrators. So if this is something that you've sent out to all employees, you're probably going to want all administrators to be able to participate. But again, if we've picked just a specific department, then we probably just want a reviewer in that department to do this. In this case, we've picked Tim Allen as he's our reviewer. And then lastly, to create and complete this workflow, you're going to review the process. So just go through, you're going to check and allow yourself to make sure that you have hit everything in your workflow that you need to hit. Did you select all your documents? Are your questions all there? Do you have a reviewer? What are the setup steps you've gone through? Just to make sure you haven't missed something. So again, going back to employee onboarding, this is very similar to that process, kind of allowing you to check it before you actually add it. Once you select complete, your workflow is created. The green bar on the top there, and again, I know you guys can't read the words, but the green bar there will kind of go through what your next steps are. And at this point, it is then sent to your employee for them to start filling out. And I believe we'll kind of talk a little bit about the employee side here. But the employee, once you have created that workflow, your employee is going to get an alert. And when they log in, they're going to see that they have an open alert. They can jump in, check that, and they can start completing it. Very similar to the onboarding process, it will go through the different steps for them. So they're not going to have to click around and figure out where they are or what do they do. It's just as similar to onboarding that it's going to walk them through it. So their side is very easy. And again, we can go through that in a full-blown demo for you. But once your workflow has been completed, you can go back to your dashboard and click on workflows and tasks. When you're there, you'll notice that under your workflow campaigns, so there's a section here under your workflow campaigns, you can see what campaigns you have open or what workflows you have open, and you can see how many are in progress, how many have been submitted, and how many are ready for review. Okay, so this is really cool to be able to click in and see where everybody's at, and also kind of nudge the ones along that maybe haven't gone into their hub to complete that yet. So again, the employee completion and review, the employee's going to get it, check it, go through it, fill out all their steps. You as the admin can go in and you can select your employee. You can check their completion. So the first box up here goes through their the employees and how much of it has been completed. And then in progress review. So again, this should look very familiar. These three slides should look very familiar if you're using our onboarding process, because you can jump in and see, where is this employee at? Have they finished? If they have finished, what's my summary look like? So this is really important for you guys to see that you can jump in and kind of check that out, review it. Once you review it and complete it, you can actually pull up the documents as well. So very similar to onboarding with your new hires, you can jump in and get a copy of those documents too. Next is your Employees tab. So your Employees tab allows you to select from any of your staff to check their profile. Once you check or click on an employee and expand their profile, you can view things like the file cabinet, outstanding tasks, and custom fields, that are specific to this employee. So as you can see, we have Tim Allen pulled up. And now I can see everything for Tim. What have I sent him? What are the custom fields he has? So what are his preferences? And these are things that we created in our demo company. So this has, obviously is going to look different for every client. But the file cabinet's great too. Like I said, you can upload things specifically to just that employee. So if you want to share, maybe a completed review and you guys want to copy in there, or maybe you got a really nice note from a client regarding a specific employee and you want to be able to share that or store it in their file cabinet. So that's a really great place to do that. And then outstanding tasks. Again, what does that employee have that they've started, maybe haven't completed, and what do I need to nudge them for? And then reporting. This is probably one of our most favorite features with this new Hub HR is the reporting ability. So we have a lot of clients that ask, how do I go in and quickly grab a report? I need an HR report for my employees. I need, this can be, you can get as creative as, I need to know what size jackets my employees wear. We're going to order new jackets, or we're going to order new t-shirts, and I need to see what size t-shirts everybody wears. So for that, you can create a workflow campaign and a task, essentially, and then you'll have that as an option to pull from your custom fields. So as the top slide shows, and I think, again, I don't know what of this you guys can really make out, but your available fields are all the fields that are coming from the data that we have on the payroll side. So name, address, social, hire date, birth date, employee number. I'm just trying off the top of my head here to think of all the options that we have, but also custom fields. So these are custom questions that you guys create. We've got a sample report that we pulled up on that second slide there, and that goes over employee number, employee full name. You do have the option to pick just first name or last name if you want to pull a report that way, but there is full name, full address, email address. So if you want to pull an email list, maybe you guys have something going on and you want to send out a big blast, so you can pull an email list. And then date of birth, date of hire. That's what we chose to do on our report. What's nice about this is, like I said, you can create it pretty custom as well. So it doesn't have to be just what's in the payroll system, but it can be things that you guys create on your side. So like I said, this is definitely one of the most exciting features we have for Hub HR because it is so in depth into what we have in the payroll system and what you guys can just do via ad hoc. So just what do I want to pull a report for, and I can go in and pull it. Right now, most of our clients that have online access can go in and grab reports, but not necessarily run custom reports. So you can run a certain amount of reports, but not everything. So this kind of allows you to have more option on that side. And then once you have run the reports, so what's really great about these is you can name the report. So if it's something that you want to have in your queue to run every now and again, you can name the report. But you can also export or extract the data that you're getting from this into a CSV file. So if that's something that you want to pull from your system, those that are familiar with Hub, you can pull a lot of your PTO info from there, and you can export that to CSV as well, or I believe even Excel. So it's great to have the options to pull those and get that data out the way you want it. But if you simply want to just pull a report, you can see that second slide there, once we've hit run report, we can actually see the data instantly that we've run. So again, this is great because you can go back if you realize, oh, I forgot their date of birth or their date of hire, and I need a report that has that info on there. You can easily go back, edit, manipulate the report, and then rerun it so you get the information that you'd like. And then alerts. So alerts, these are things that you guys can create, and these can be based on due dates from criteria that you have selected. Again, same kind of deal for the alerts. This can be for all employees. This can be for selected department of employees, or just a select employee if you want it to be that. Alerts are birthdays, new hires. So if there's a message you want to go out to all of your new hires. Reviews, upcoming reviews. So maybe you want to alert your employees and let them know, hey, it's that time of year again. We have a review coming up. Here's what I want you to have together for the review. These are some notes that I'm going to leave you about the review. So that's great for annual reviews. Birthdays is kind of fun. We've played around with this on our demo company quite a bit. But the birthdays is great. You can actually select it to all employees, obviously. And then on their birthday, you can select the best time to do that. But on their birthday, you can send them a message that says, happy birthday. You can customize it for them, which is kind of a cool thing. We really highlight birthdays here at Journey. So it's been fun to see this added as an option for our clients as well. But the benefits enrollment notification, I would say, is probably one of the more popular requests that we get in. And I want to be clear that this is not a benefit enrollment portal. It's not a benefit admin portal. It's not something that's going to track all that fun stuff, and they can select, and watch their benefits change when they select things. So it's not a full-blown benefit admin system, but it does serve a great purpose in kind of alerting that employee, once, let's say they're eligible for benefits the first of the month following 60 days. It's great to be able to send an alert and let them know, hey, look, you're coming up for benefits. We need this paperwork filled out. Here's the due date. It needs to be back in order for us to make sure that you get added to benefits on time. Again, these are alerts that you set, so it's not like you have to be setting calendar reminders or anything like that. And then driver's license expiration. So again, the example that we've used today would be the expiration date for driver's license. So sending out something right before that were to expire is a great way to make sure that you don't have things lapse that should be alerted. And this, again, we can customize this to your preferences and likings. It doesn't mean that you have to do what is listed on there. Let's chat about it if you have specific alerts that you want to add. And I think that pretty much wraps up our high-level overview here of the system. And like I said, this by no means is a full-blown demo. So if we did a demo, it would take us quite a while to do a full-blown demo and try to hit everybody's needs that are on this call. So this is going over what it is so that everybody can have a sneak peek. And then please, like I said, reach out to your payroll specialist. But for clients on here that are Colorado specific, definitely let me know. My information was on the home screen, but most of you should have it, and we will send out these slides as well in an email, and I'll make sure that my email address is in there and contact info so that you can reach out to me specifically, as we'll be starting to get these appointments set for actual demos of your company. But if anybody has any questions that they want to send in right now, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, like I said, questions that would be specific to your company, definitely save those for an email for me so that we can hit your company exactly. So I want to thank everybody for showing up today. Hopefully you found this exciting, and just as exciting as we have found it here at Journey. But yeah, I appreciate everybody's time. We wanted to be quick enough with it. I know this is a busy time of year for everybody. So like I said, reach out with any questions that you guys might have. And I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their day.